Hello everyone, in this video I'm reacting to It's Up to Us Now, the reality of being non-binary or trans in America.
The official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders.
And once
Well,
again,
there are more
with
than
this
two
cult
genders, that's just false.
specifically, that is inevitable because at its core is a provable lie.
I see.
Defied and revealed by the
People just need to respect people.
Would you do something like that? Would
Yeah.
you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness.
LGB, and then we added
It's not delusion.
Why do you call it delusion?
Because he had just signed two other bills,
transgender children,
Yeah,
including barring
they're just spewing nonsense. We are strong and we matter. I, as a bi man, support all trans and non-binary people because they are going through a lot more struggle than I'm going through. And what I'm going through is hard, but what they're going through is harder, and we all need to be strong so we can all live as long and as happily as we can. Because we can't be stopped if we work together. Nice jeans, or shirt, or whatever. It looks nice. I see. Nail polish, cool. This looks like a short film so far. It seems nice. I'm just enjoying it, just seeing how it goes. On January 20th, 2025, it became the official policy in the United States there are only two genders.
For a lot of queer Americans, life just got a whole lot scarier. I'm fortunate to have a lot of privilege. I live in a blue city that generally has pretty liberal policies and is open and accepting. I have the support of family and friends in my non-binary identity. And even still, when the official policy of the United States government became recognizing only two genders, that hit me pretty hard. To me, being queer is something to celebrate. It's a difference that makes us unique and beautiful people. And the fact that there are a large portion of people out there who would invalidate that or just hate me just because of that
But we can't be stopped.
Is difficult to understand. But I know that I'm privileged to go about my life in the way that I do, where my biggest problems are being misgendered as a man in public or not being able to change the gender that's listed on my passport. For many people, the new government means their access to gender-affirming, life-saving medical care will no longer be available, that it became less safe to come out or to be themselves in public, especially in states where there's more oppression, which is why it's the job of those of us who have the privilege of safety to speak out for those who don't. The language around trans and queer people that's thrown around in politics and in the news cycles is meant to dehumanize us.
And they can't stop us.
Trans people from someone who might be your neighbor or your friend to a political issue, a hot button topic to be
Which
debated.
is bad at what they're doing.
It reduces our day-to-day lives and the affirmation we might get from our neighbors and the people we interact with to political controversial issues like participation in sports and bathrooms. And that is intentional because these conversations are never about the stated goal. It's not about safety. If it was, these people would also care about things like gun control. Instead, it's about control. It's about creating fear and dehumanizing a certain portion of the population.
But they can't stop our trans brothers, sisters,
play into
and non-binary people.
Control the masses. It's a narrative that's meant to turn people against trans people. And it's incredibly unfair that people who are just trying to go about their lives and live as the truest version of themselves are forced to become aware of politics and to be part of a debate when most of the time we just want to exist.
We just want to
exist. Regardless of whether or not it's fair, whether or not we want to, we who have safety, we who have the privilege of being able to tell our stories and be open about who we are, we have the duty to fight for those who aren't. One of the best ways we can protest is by sharing our stories. To truly combat the narrative that trans people are dangerous or predators. To change the narrative, we need to tell our stories, real human stories of trans people who realized who they were and were much happier living their authentic lives.
Yes.
Our own unique individual stories that led us to where we are.
Yeah.
Because people don't change their mind through facts or statistics. People change their mind through stories.
Yeah.
That's why I started telling my story online. Because yes, in most of my life,
Yes.
the person that I am doesn't affect how I live my days. The privilege of getting to still be a parent and a spouse to a wonderful daughter and wife, to wake up every day knowing I have a job that I'll go and get to work remotely, to run and to be outside and to have shelter and all of these wonderful things.
Yeah.
And being queer, though it's an inseparable part of my identity, does not limit my access to any one of these things.
Yes.
But for the people that it does, for the people who might be kicked out of their home or denied access to medical care or lose their job if they were open about who they are, I want to use that privilege to create a safe space.
Yes.
If I can even just allow one person who doesn't have a community in real life to find someone else that looks like them or has similar experiences to them or just makes them feel safe to talk
You're
about their
non-binary
experiences, then I have done my job. Telling my story of how I came to realize my identity and the journey of gender discovery that I'm on helps to change even one person's mind about people who are gender non-conforming, then I've done my job. So if you're queer and you have any sort of ability to tell your story, whether that's creating art, making films, paintings, whether that's telling people in your lives your story or looking for community events where you have the opportunity to, please keep speaking up. There's no shortage of people who will tell stories about us, who will continue to make up stories to direct the narrative about trans people. So we need to start telling our stories.
Yes, we do.
If you're queer, keep speaking up. If you're an ally, keep speaking up. Tell the stories of the person you are or the people you know. Tell real stories about the joy that it is to finally find yourself and be open about who you are in real life. Don't let them take away that joy, take away your voice. Don't let them silence you. Because if the government refuses to recognize our existence, it's up to us now.
Yes, it is. It's up to us. We need to protect our peace as much as we can. Great video. Let's show them. Yeah, they can't erase us. No, they can't. We are strong and we got this. We are legends. Great video.